Hello and welcome to Sunday Run Day, the podcast. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see right now I am joined by my lovely wife, Clara. Clara, welcome to Sunday Run Day, the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's so good to finally have you on the show. So the reason I wanted Clara on the show is last week we took on the Sydney Marathon. It was the first year it was a major, and we were fortunate enough to be able to run in the marathon. So just before we get into it with Clara and talk about the experience, I want to just touch on a little bit about the history of Sydney, because Sydney Marathon is actually only 25 years old. It was first introduced in 2000 for the Olympic Games, where the inaugural marathon was held. And here we are 25 years later that Sydney is now an official World Abbott major marathon. Now, just to talk a little bit about the growth as well, we actually found it super surprising that in 2022, only 5,300 finishers completed the Sydney Marathon. Whereas if you just looked at last year, we had 25,000 people finish the Sydney Marathon, and this year they had 35,000 runners. So pretty amazing, pretty incredible growth that Sydney has had. And also the actual this year as well as last year as well, they actually started on the very spot that the Olympic Games started in North Sydney. So let's get into it, Clara. I want to find out a little bit about how that was at the start of Sydney Marathon.
It was really amazing. We have the chance to witness the star line with the greatest of the greatest. Some of our favorite runners of all time were there. My girl Safan was there, and it was pretty surreal to see them all. So that was really inspiring right from the start. Yes, it was such a surreal moment, seeing everyone that was just about to start and being able to witness the start of the first time of Sydney being a major was quality. Yeah, loved it.
No, that was awesome. As we were saying, we're super lucky to be there at the start. And as you say, see Sifan Hassan and, Elliot Kipchoge as well on the start line. That definitely gave us a little bit of buzz as we started into the marathon. So then let's go to the start. Here we are. We've just witnessed the greats of the greats. We've had Elliot Kipchoge. We've had Sifan Hassan. Off they went, and then we joined in with the marathon. How was the start of Sydney Marathon?
It was fantastic. It was just the energy, the buzzing. Everybody was just ready to take on the challenge. We certainly didn't know what the challenge was for us in that marathon, like every marathon. But it was just amazing to witness everyone just starting, going downhill. It was just such a surreal moment seeing so many people all together. And just, yes, everybody just giving it the best go.
Yeah, definitely. That start in Sydney Marathon was a real buzz for us. Like we were just absolutely excited and just so happy that we got to witness that start and just being in that iconic moment. And then, as you say, the downhill, it starts off and you were going downhill. You can certainly get carried away. We didn't. We managed to keep pace. We happened to keep with where we wanted to go. And then we come up to the Harbour Bridge. How was that moment again? Being there 2 years ago and we're back there again, running across the Harbour Bridge together. How did that feel?
Oh, I feel surreal. First, Sydney is such a beautiful city. There is no many cities that can compare to that beauty, that's for certain. We love Melbourne, but Sydney definitely has a lot of beauty to offer. And going again over the Harbour Bridge was just amazing. And this time, feeling a lot more sure about how to run a marathon. Last time, it was my first marathon. A little bit underprepared, but this time it was just amazing. Feeling strong, confident, and certainly having lots of fun. So we were stopping, not stopping for photos, but like just taking the time to go to a camera and just love. And it was certainly an amazing time, especially over the Harbour Bridge.
Yeah, definitely. It was just fun, as you say. Like we were just kind of like really enjoying that moment of running together. So, as I mentioned before, I was going back to Sydney for a little bit of redemption after 2 years ago of running the marathon with Clara and not getting that opportunity to finish with her. So this year we were definitely more prepared, as you say. We were definitely really excited for it and running together. And it's only the second marathon we've run together. And, I think that was just super special to be able to have, my first major, obviously Clara's second major, but my first major, and to be able to run together and have those moments. And yeah, we really enjoyed it. And we're having that start line was just electric. And then just, yeah, coming off across the Harbour Bridge. And yeah, we're there posing for photos, having fun, really, smiling with each other. And then we get into it. So then we're feeling good. We're really happy with our pace, right? We're kind of going along there. The pace is going well. We've had some good kilometers. We've had a couple slower ones where we've gone up those hills, which we'll get into in a minute. But we're feeling good. So how was the middle of the race, shall we say?
Yeah, so I guess with Sydney was the first time I ever had a plan for a marathon. I really have a goal that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to run the marathon in 3 hours, 15 minutes. Clean was pacing me. And yes, I feel really confident at the start. Those kilometers were so much fun, feeling energized, just the the environment was just perfect. And we were having some really good kilometers. We have to sort of slow down a little down hills. But certainly we were having a really good pace and things were going great. At least for the first 28 to 30 kilometers, feeling really, really great. And yes, after that, it was a little bit of a challenge.
It was certainly a little bit of a challenge. We were, as you say, Clara was running super well. I was really fortunate to be able to pace her, and we had those kilometers that we were looking at and ticking over really well. We had no idea about the paces around us. We were quite fortunate. We just joined the race when we had an opportunity to just join the race when we were comfortable. So we kind of got into it, and we didn't really know what sort of pace was around us, but we were really sticking to our goal, feeling really good. Then I sort of noticed that, I thought maybe Clara was just feeling a little bit, maybe a little bit of struggles, but just a couple kilometers where she wasn't, not necessarily the pace was there. The pace was still there. She was running well, but I could just feel that something wasn't quite right. And then what happened, Clara? What did we encounter?
Yeah, so around 28K, I start feeling a little bit unwell. My stomach was in pain, which I start feeling quite surprising that was happening because we have our breakfast, we were taking our gels, and we did the same routine we did during the training and what we do every marathon. So 28K, then keep pushing up to 32, 33K, start to feel that I needed to slow down. And around 35K, I start feeling cramps in my calves, and it was just so much pain. I don't think I have ever felt so much pain in a run. And I can say that I have done quite a few runs not feeling at my best. I run Melbourne Marathon with bronchitis.
Yeah.
And yes, a couple of things, but this was different. It felt that my legs couldn't go. I have to push more and more. Clean was not allowing me to stop. I keep saying, keep going, you got this. And around 37K, I just have to stop. And Clean has to start doing some massage.
Yeah.
Definitely feeling that my legs couldn't keep going, but I feel that on that moment, the community around me, Clean, everyone was just pushing me and just giving me encouragement to just keep going. But certainly the pain was incredible. It's the only thing I can say. There were tears in my eyes, which
Yeah.
I feel like I can be quite strong. But yes, I think that what pushed me was the community, determination, and a lot of stubbornness.
Oh, most certainly. I think it was that, like, you had that moment of where it was a struggle, and yeah, we had to stop, and but to try and you really, yeah, massage those calves and try and get Clara back into it. And what I was really impressed with is that determination. As I know how much of a challenge that was. Clara is one of these people that she will keep going no matter what. But in that moment, it was really tough, a real challenge. And as you say, the community around us, there was a couple guys which I wanted to mention. They were struggling as well. One of the lads was struggling, and you could just see at the moment, like where we stopped for a second to kind of massage Clara's calf, trying to get her going again. The guys would go in front of us. And then once we start going again, you could see that they were pulling up because they were struggling with cramps and we would go in front. But just that community around really trying to get everyone through that, we really felt that was really strong, with just not only the runners, but the spectators as well. And yeah, they definitely helped us, encouraged us, and, got us over the line, shall we say. But what I was impressed with the most was that last 1 kilometer. Clara was really struggling in a moment where, yeah, happy to sort of say, like, I'm done. I can't go anymore. But I said to her, come on, we've got 1 kilometer to go. You can do this. Run it all the way. It's 700 meters is downhill. Let's get downhill, finish together in the Sydney Opera House. And how did that feel, Clara? How did that moment feel for you? And then I'll talk a little bit how it felt for me. But how did it feel for you, that last kilometer, pushing through and then us finishing together?
Yes, I think that that last kilometer was definitely something else. I was in so much pain, but I just decided to go for it. I really, really wanted to finish. I wanted to see the opera house. And I remember just keep saying to Clem before that kilometer, I need a downhill. I can't keep going. And just downhill, it was just amazing. And just seeing all the people just cheering us up and everyone just trying to achieve that goal. It feels so real. But the most important thing was for me to be able to finish together. I think Clint just gave me his hand. For the last 200 kilometers, we run together holding hands. Yes, it sounds cheesy, but it was pretty amazing. I love that moment, and finishing with Clint was certainly something we really wanted to do this together. And yes, that was for me like the most amazing moment.
No, yeah, for me it was so surreal. I think the struggle to get there and for us to have that moment together, there's something that we've been, for me, it's been stuck with me for the last 2 years, not getting that opportunity 2 years ago to finish together and be there in Clara's first marathon. That definitely was really, heavy on my heart and something that I was looking forward to the most. And then to see Clara struggling and to overcome that. And then the last sort of 700 meters down the hill, and the support around was just electric. Like the people of Sydney, like really hats off to them. They come out in their thousands, just everywhere on the course. There was so many people constantly cheering you on, trying to get you encouragement. It was amazing to see. And yeah, we had that feeling coming into the Opera House. And then yeah, I grabbed Clara's hand for the last 200 meters. I wanted us to finish together. It was a little bit cheesy for us, but it was just that moment of it meant so much to us and it meant so much to me. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed finishing. So we didn't quite get the goal. We didn't quite get the 3:15. We had some struggles, but I'm safe to say Clara still ran super amazing, and we still done a 3:25 in Sydney on a really tough course. When we talk about a tough course, I mean the elevation alone in Sydney is over 1,000 feet, so we know it was tough and challenging. But for Clara to go there and still smash an amazing marathon and do well, it was just incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate your support. It was pretty amazing. And also the support of the volunteers. It was so many volunteers everywhere. There were volunteers and they were just fantastic. And some of the signs as well really helped. Some of them were really, really fun. But yes, that last kilometer was what I can say was worth everything that we went through for the last 7K to finish.
Yeah, for sure. And then talk about that finish. So when we talk about the major marathons around the world, they all are unique for their own reasons. And the marathons that we've been fortunate to run in ourselves are unique for own reasons. And we love each one. But talk about the finish and what makes that Sydney Marathon just the most iconic marathon that I've taken a part of, and maybe you as well. But what was that finish like, just coming into that Opera House?
I feel that you can never get enough of the Opera House. Every time you go to Sydney, you really want to see it. It's just, as you say, electric, just to see everyone there. But just going around that corner and seeing the Opera House is just incredible. It's one of the most beautiful things. And certainly, as I say, Sydney is just such a beautiful city. That finish is iconic and will always be iconic. So I'm actually jealous for anyone that is going to run that course over the next few years, and certainly recommend to everyone to come to Sydney and run it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, as you say, it's absolutely iconic. Just the Opera House in itself is just amazing. But then to run a marathon and get to finish right there in front of the Opera House is just something else. It's truly special, and I think that's what Sydney are very fortunate to have such an iconic setting and a finish line that is just like none other, in my opinion. So Clara, now we've done it. We've now done Sydney Marathon twice. There was some tweaks and changes to this year's course from what we've done, a couple of years ago. So talking about advice, I always like to sort of say that, as you know, on the show, I always like to ask for people's advice. But what sort of advice would you give someone that was looking to carry out Sydney as the major marathon, in the coming years?
Well, first, definitely do it. It's beautiful. Don't go too fast because there is a temptation, and I feel like similar to Boston in that sense that you will want to run fast the first kilometers. Don't forget that there are a lot of uphills and downhills. Look after your calves and your hamstrings. Lots of strength, and make sure that you put into your training some hills. I guess for us in Melbourne, where we run in very flat courses, which we love, but definitely having some hills will be important to do Sydney. And definitely just have fun. It's beautiful, once in a lifetime for many, because coming down under is quite far from everywhere. We're lucky we live here and we can do it. Not any time now, but at least we can try to go into the ballot and do it.
Yeah.
But I guess for many people will be once in a lifetime. So really enjoy it. Stop if you want to stop. Take photos if you want to, and just embrace it because it's an absolutely beauty of a marathon.
Oh, that's some amazing advice. And yeah, I think, I second that as well. And anyone that wants to run in Sydney, just enjoy it. It is such an amazing marathon. The community that come out as well. So the support of the runners, 35,000 runners there, the support of them alone, but also the community around that. I think there was only probably one or two areas in Sydney that is difficult for spectators to get to. But other than that, every possible spot where spectators could get to, there was thousands of spectators there, and definitely encouragement. Some really great cheer zones as well, with some DJs playing there. So that was great and really enjoyable, and fantastic advice, surely, for anyone that wants to take on Sydney. And as we talk about Sydney as well, we were fortunate enough that Ryan from our gym, he was there running in his first ever marathon. So we want to give him a congratulations as well for running that. It was great to meet up with him and his family up in Sydney. And it was good to see him at the finish line there after doing such an amazing marathon. And obviously, hats off to everyone else that ran in Sydney. It was a great event, super well organized. Like Clara touched on as well, the volunteers. There was thousands of volunteers and so helpful and so encouraging. It's just really great to be a part of. And for us, we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely. I must say that this time I feel when people say you run 35K with your body and
With your legs,
with your legs, and then the other 7K with your mind
with your heart.
or with your heart,
Yeah.
or with both.
For both,
I think
yeah,
that really depends with both
Yeah,
this
definitely.
time. So I must say Sydney has my heart. Yes, a complicated relationship, but definitely love it, and I can't wait to go back and doing it again.
No, that's amazing. It was such a great experience and we loved it. And yeah, anyone that wants to take on Sydney, we thoroughly recommend. So I want to touch on as well. I did put on Instagram, if you did see, there are some events happening around the world this weekend and a few that caught our eye. But obviously, we want to give a big shout out to Petra because we were fortunate enough to run there last year and it's happening this weekend. So first of all, massive shout out to everyone over there in Jordan. Some of our friends still, over there taking on the half marathon and the marathon. So we wish them all the best and hope they had a great time, doing it. But I want to just touch on a little bit, Clara. What does Petra mean to you? Because Petra was so special for us last year. What does it mean to you?
Petra is absolutely one of the best and most beautiful runs ever. I love everything about Petra. I think was the first time I actually won a race.
Yeah.
I was lucky to to end the half marathon as the first female.
Yeah.
And that was pretty incredible. And just to meet so many people, I think for me, that marathon gave me the chance to meet some amazing runners, get inspired by them to continue my running journey. And just, yes, and so I feel so lucky that we were able to run it. I think two of my favorite things, desert and running together, that was pretty incredible. Yes, and certainly congratulations to everyone that is running Petra. Enjoy it, embrace it. It's a unique run. Looking forward to do it once again.
Yeah.
We want to do so many runs that I
Yeah,
don't know
of
what
course.
to speak, but definitely Petra and Sydney are up there as one of the most amazing runs we have done.
Yeah, definitely. And a big shout out to Albatross Adventure Marathons as well. They organise such an amazing marathon. We've been fortunate enough to carry out a couple now. And yeah, Petra, when Clara said Sydney has our heart a little bit, Petra certainly does as well. And, we do miss some of our friends who made them. We could certainly wish we were able to go back and run it with them this year because, yeah, it's just such a, unique and beautiful course. And yeah, as you say, in the desert, with a UNESCO heritage site as well, is so beautiful. It's what more can we ask for? Desert, running, and travel as well.
Yes, it's our wonder of the world. So we're lucky to have done that. But yes, congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, look, Clara, I really appreciate you coming on the show. It's really great to finally have you here. It's been a little while trying to get her on here. I've shared obviously Clara's story with you guys as well. If you've listened back on some of the episodes, it's been an incredible running story. I, for one, am super proud of her and super fortunate to be able to be on this journey with her. And it's great to have her on the podcast and sharing a little insight into Sydney and talk a little bit about Petra. Give us some advice to other people as well. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. And you didn't mention that we actually wore matching tops.
Well, yeah, we did. I will. If you do check it on Instagram, you'll see that I'll put a photo on there. Of us wearing the matching tops. It's our first time wearing matching outfits, but we thought why not? It was very special being the first year Sydney was a major. Special for me being my first major, and get to run with Clara as well. So yeah, we're some matching outfits, which is super cool, and yeah, I loved it. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. So thank you, and thank you for having me. And as we always say, until next time,
Happy running.